Hey, good morning there, Jacob, Sage, and Braxton. Just want to fill you guys in on what we've been working on. We've had a meeting here on the 21st, met with the rest of our leadership team, and I just want to give you a quick fill in on what we're doing. Make sure you're up to date. So if you could take some time to watch this video, it'll probably be, I guess we'll see at the end, but I don't think it'll be much more than about 15, 20 minutes. It's just a way to stay in the loop on what we have going on. You don't even have to look at me. I'm the ugly part of this, so you can just listen to it if you want. Um, First thing, and I've sent you both the sheets I'm talking through. So the first thing I'm going to talk you through is the thing that says Engage Agenda. Again, Engage is our new name for our college and young adult ministry. Here are just some dates to be aware of. Sage and Braxton, I know you're gone, but Jacob, I believe you're back. August 12th through the 13th, we're going to be doing intensive training for our leaders at Hope. It's going to be from 6 to 9, 10 o'clock. I've been working with a young adult college organization that does training and just kind of helps launch your ministry. So one of their guys is going to be up to talk with us and help us through the training. But again, we'll be talking about missional communities, what those look like, and then we'll plan our launch for the fall and what things will look like, especially for September, as new young professionals move to town, as college kids get here, all that sort of thing. So what it's going to look like on a whole as we get going. Again, we're going to try to have a fun outing, whether that's getting out to the lake together, doing the escape room in Grand Forks. We've been talking about a few different ideas with the people here. If we can, I know it's going to be hard, but try to get together to do something fun here before everything launches in the fall. Big thing I want to talk to you about is team meetings, and I'll go through a little bit more later on this, but just so you know, as a team with our leadership team, we're going to meet once a month. And we're going to do it the first Sunday morning of each month at my house. The dates are listed there, what that would be. It would be from 9 in the morning to 11 in the morning. I'm putting this stuff out there for you right now so you can start scheduling. One of the things I'm trying to do to make it and help you guys is put everything out there right away so you know what's going on and you can start putting it into your calendar. I don't want to just do stuff the week before. So those dates are set. And we'll talk again more about that in a little bit. Sometimes we may have to have a second meeting each month. I'm going to try my best not to do that. I don't think we will because we're also doing some one-on-one meetings. So hopefully we can address anything that needs to be done with that during those one-on-one meetings. I want to just walk through what a meeting will look like. We're always going to start with a meal, just a way to hang out, relax, talk to each other, get to know each other better as a team. Then we'll kind of talk about, hey, what's going well and what are we struggling with in our groups. We'll go over any pre-planned agenda items that we know we need to talk about. Maybe it's an event we need to talk through or maybe something along those lines. Then we'll talk about one or two topics, something for training. Again, everything I am doing, I am setting up to be there to help you guys as leaders in this. So whatever challenges you're having, whatever you think, not only will I do the one-on-one meetings, I'll do as many as are needed. Okay, I'm always going to be there to help you. I'm feeding into you guys this year as the leaders. That is sort of, the Jesus model where he had the, 12 disciples, and then even within the 12 disciples, he had the 3 that he went really deep with. And I'm going really deep with our leaders this year. All my time and effort is getting put into you guys. Or not all of it, but the majority of it is just how can I better help you guys. So just know that I'm here to help you, and then we'll always be praying. We have got to pray more as a group, and just let prayer be what guides us and leads us in what we do. Give it up to God. So that's just some things to be aware of in terms of dates and meetings and what meetings are going to look like. Point 3 is our monthly planning. I really want you guys to just think this through quickly. And the reason why I'm talking about monthly planning is, again, I'm trying to make sure you know what your expectations are heading in, right? It's July right now. You can start planning for September because none of this really hits till September. And so start thinking it through. This whole thing is about getting your juices flowing and getting you thinking about what we're doing. I need you to know that. And, you don't have to have all the answers yet, but just get your minds thinking because September is going to be here sooner rather than later. All right. So again, as you can see, as we're talking about monthly planning, Sundays, this is what Sundays look like. We're no longer doing any sort of big meeting on campus. Again, I know this isn't just for college students, but I'm just saying, like, there's nothing during the middle of the week in terms of one large meeting. Everything we do is on Sunday nights now, starting with the meal that's always been there. And again, that's going to be for all young adults, ages 18 to 30. So we're expanding that out this year. Then there'll be church, and then there always will be a sermon discussion afterwards. Okay. It's a way for it. This is sort of our large group gathering each week, and it's an opportunity for us to hang out beforehand at the meal, to go corporately and worship together with all of our groups, and then to have a discussion afterwards. And again, that discussion, that's for that person who's seeking, or that person who maybe wants to take another step, not just be someone who just goes to church on Sunday nights, but who also adds to it. And so we're going to have a discussion there. So that's what that looks like. So be thinking about that for Sundays. On the back, it has our life groups. I'm using the word life groups. Those are our missional community groups. Life group sounds less intimidating than missional community, because if someone says, hey, what's a life group? We can just say, hey, it's a group of people. We're doing life together. We're living life together. We're just doing life. I don't think that sounds scary. It doesn't sound churchy. It just sounds like, hey, yeah, that sounds like something I'd give a try out to. I don't think it's intimidating. And again, we're going to do the up in out model. I've talked this through with you guys before. We'll talk about it again. We'll do it at the training. This will be a big part of our training, the whole up and out. But again, it's this idea that once a month, and this is how we're going to start, that once a month we do each of those things. So an up event is something that's focused on God. An in event or an in activity is something where we're hanging out and doing things with fellow believers in Christ in our group. And again, I'll talk more about that in a bit. And then the out focus thing is when we're getting out. Okay, when we're trying to do something to reach out to our community. So an example would be, again, you're going to start with a core group of people, 4 to 8 Christians, right, in your group, with a common cause or mission. And that up thing maybe is a Bible study. Okay, the in thing could be, hey, we're having people over for a meal and to play board games. Okay, and then out would be, hey, we're going down to the park, we're going to barbecue, and we're going to frisbee golf. Okay, again, one a month. We're going to do one a month of each of those at the start. Okay, the hope is that over time that expands. But at the start, we just want to start there. So really, that's 3 times a month where you're doing something. And again, we're not saying there's equal. The biggest value is on Christ, but we want to have an equal emphasis. All those things matter to what we're doing. Okay, and then the DNA groups. I'm not going to go into that too deep right now. And you don't have to do those off the bat, but the hope is that over time, as again, you've got this core group of Christians, maybe there's 4, 6, 8, 10 of you, and maybe you've invited in a couple other people as well, that there would be throughout the month once or twice where you get together smaller groups from that core group, where there's 2 or 3 of you that get together to go deeper into the Word and grow there. And again, we'll talk through that in the training, but I just need you to know, again, I want to help you to start planning and start thinking about what you're doing. And then once a month, we're going to do a group event. That's going to be where all of our life groups come together, again, for one corporate event. So right now, I think we've got 6 or 7 groups to start with. So the hope would be all 6 or 7 groups, and anybody who is also looking to get involved could come and be a part of those. We'll do it the first Friday or Saturday of the month. Again, this is like an out-focused event. So again, this would be something that you would feel comfortable bringing any person to, someone who knows Jesus or someone who doesn't know Jesus. Okay? And you can see the dates. We've got a couple dates set already. Our first one in September, we're going to be going out to a family's lake place and doing that. And we'll talk through that event later. And then leaders, again, I already said there's a monthly meeting. Okay? And then each of you will have an individual discipleship meeting once a month. I've got some different leaders working on that in terms of adults, myself, Scott and Danielle Anderson, and then my wife will probably be involved a little bit as well. But that's what that looks like. So again, each month we've got the Sunday nights, we've got the life groups and your up and out event, your up and out activities, once a month group event, and then the leaders meetings, okay? Now I want you to switch gears. We're going to go over to the core team requirements. You should have the Engage core team shirt or sheet. or the job description. I know I've given this to you guys before, but I want to just talk through. I'm going to breeze through the requirements. Again, part of the reason we're switching and using this missional community model and doing these life groups and how we do it in terms of really being outward focused is because at Hope, our vision is to touch with the hope and love at least 10% of the unchurched people in the greater Grand Forks area. So this is how we're going to do it, right? I feel like if that's the vision of Hope, we're part of Hope, we want to try to live into that vision. And again, our mission with Engage is simple, and it's we want our young adult communities to 1, engage with Jesus, 2, engage in life with followers of Jesus, and 3, engage with our community on Jesus. That is the up and out model, right? Engaging with Jesus, that's the up portion. Engaging in life with followers of Jesus, that's the in portion. And engaging with our community on mission for Jesus is the out portion, okay? So you can think through that. I hope you can articulate that. I need you to be able to articulate that. The running passionately after Jesus, again, this is a hand-picked crew. I've picked you guys because I know that you're running passionately after Jesus. I'm not concerned about that. But the biggest thing with this one that I want to make sure is we got to be participants. All right, we're not just consumers. Too many people in the faith, and I don't see that with you guys, but you're just consumers. Just show up and consume Christ for an hour and leave. That's not who we are. We've got to be participants. You've got to be active in this. Again, committed to the up and out model. We place equal emphasis on engaging with Jesus, with fellow believers, and on mission. Okay? So we got to be committed to that. I need you to be desiring to make disciples. And we'll talk more about what that means. But guys, we cannot rely simply on the skill of just you guys and our leaders to reach others. We've got to multiply. We've got to be growing other people to be like you in terms of running passionately after Jesus. And that's huge. We've got to have that in Grand Forks, right? Grand Forks is a stepping stone city, and what I mean by that is people aren't looking to stay here. And that's not a knock on Grand Forks, but anybody who's been here knows that. People are here and they're looking to get out. And if we're not finding new leaders, if we're not building into people, guess what's happening? This is going to die because too many of us leave. People are leaving all the time. Again, we got to be hospitable. I need ideas and we need availability. So that's just rolling through the requirements quick. I more want to talk with you about the responsibilities. I want you to lead a life group. So you already know that. This is our number one emphasis is these life groups. And again, either on your own or in pairs, you're going to lead in a group built around 4 to 8 followers of Christ that is looking to expand. Right? The group can already exist or be newly formed. You got to be built around a common cause or mission. Again, so I'm going to talk about at the end here, but thinking about who are the 4 to 8 people we're going to start with, right? And then what's going to be the common cause or mission? Maybe it's a co-ed group, maybe it's just a female group, maybe it's a young couples group. Okay? Maybe you want to reach out to, people in your major. Maybe you want to reach out to people in the workplace where you work. Maybe you want it to be you'll be a missionary group where you'll take on anybody, but I need you to be thinking about what is our common cause or mission, because that's going to help you narrow down who the people are that you're asking to come into it, and also who the people are that you're pursuing as you look to be outward focused. Attending meetings. So I said we'll meet once a month. One of the things I'm doing is I'm putting percentages on what my expectations are for you to be at. I know things happen, and I know you can't always make everything. That's not my expectation. But again, availability is part of the requirements of this job, and so or this position. And so my hope is that you make 66% of our monthly meetings. That means that if we have one a month, that's 12 in a year. You should make 8 of those. Okay, I'm giving you the dates ahead of time so you can plan and be prepared for it. All right. Secondly, help plan and participate in group events. I said once a month we're going to do a big group event on the first Friday or Saturday. Again, it's a chance to bring all our life groups together and our missional community groups. I need you to help. I need them to be done well. I need them to be something that you would feel comfortable inviting anybody to, right? So as we're planning these out, if you're listening to this or you're thinking about it, even if it's not your thing, if you're listening to it and saying, I would never invite somebody to that, then we're doing it wrong. Okay, we've got to each month produce something that is something that you would want to feel comfortable bringing anybody to, all right? And so again, my hope is that you're at 75% of these events. And the big reason I need you at these events is, again, you guys are the shining lights of who I think embody Christ people pursuing Jesus. And I need people to see you, because you guys are the ones that that I know people can look at and go, man, I want to have a life like those guys have. So need you to be at those. Again, 75% of them. Sunday night gatherings, it's pretty much the same thing. Again, you don't always have to go to church on Sunday night. You don't have to always be at our meal. You don't have to be at our sermon discussion. But my hope is that if there's 4 Sundays in a month, you're at 2 of them. And again, the reason is that that's our chance again to recruit new people in, for people to meet. Again, for you guys to be the face of what we're doing. And so my hope is that you're at least half of those. Okay. And then praying for our life groups, guys. As you're looking to form it right now, and who's going to be in your group, start praying, man. If you don't know yet, continue to pray. Make a plan for how you intend to pray. Pray for each member of the group, new members of the group. I don't just want us to do this, guys. I don't want you to just suddenly, before I ask you, think for 5 minutes and write down 4 names and say, yeah, hey, these are the people. You should be praying for these guys right now. You should be praying every day for it, because I want these groups bathed in prayer, right? I know we're busy in life, and I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you to pray. I know you guys pray every day. I know when you're just sitting around, you can pray. When you're driving in your car, you can pray. When you're bored, you can sit there and pray. I mean, you don't have to get down on your hands and knees, but be praying about who these people are. And then disciple others. So here's the thing. You're going to each be responsible for discipling at least one person, with the intention of helping to build them into a leadership disciple in your missional community group or your life group. So right off the bat, here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you, once you start to get into your group, and you start to realize, okay, I'm recognizing that this person in my group, they could possibly be a leader. Okay, and I want you to do some things to intentionally pour into them. We'll train you on that, so you don't have to have all the answers right now, but you're going to want to identify someone. Secondly, I also want you to have a relationship with at least one not yet believer who you are intentionally discipling. Again, the idea behind that is, who is someone in your life that has an interest, or you think man, you know what, I want to start being intentional about this person. I'm not telling you have to talk to them about Jesus every day. That's not the point. But the idea is that you start having intentional conversations just to get to know someone better. This is our way of kind of building into that person who we're hoping we can lead to Jesus, that outward focus for us. And then finally, we're going to coach train once a month. And again, each core team member, you're going to get some sort of training from me, from Melanie, from Scott, Danielle, individually. So, Sage and Braxton, Jacob, thank you. Thank you for watching. Again, I'm going to be contacting you soon. The biggest thing I want to know is, where are you at with your core group? Have you thought through, this is what we want our group to be about? These are the people we want to be a part of it. Again, you don't have to have that answer, but by August 12th and 13th, when we have this meeting, I'm hoping you're there. I really want you to be there. So be praying and thinking about this. I will contact you guys. God bless. I'm excited to do this with you. Thank you again for your commitment to being a leader and just making a difference for Christ. So we'll talk to you guys soon.